Mandalorian is a part of Star Wars Extended Universe. The Mandalorian mean resident of the planet Mandalore. They have their own universe, culture, stories, and history. They ruled the world for centuries until faced Jedi who changed everything. There is no need to know much about Mandalorian history to enjoy the Mandalorian season. Just keep in mind that Mandalorians are highly trained and skilled warriors, specifically bounty hunters, who are trained to capture the defaulters and get reward price in return. Mandalorians' iconic identification mark is their armored appearance. Such kind of appearance first time we saw in The Empire Strikes Back. Boba Fett was a bounty hunter at that time introduced for the first time. He was liked and praised by the viewers. Boba Fett inspired many people and writers wrote stories and novels on the Boba Fett-like appearance which were named as Mandalorians. After that, many series and animated shows were played casting the Boba Fett-like appearance. The Mandalorian armor, this is made up of a particular type of Mandalorian iron which is unbreakable by ordinary methods. This iron-like metal in the Mandalore is known as beskar. It is very rare and expensive metal, and it is much likely vibranium, which can bear many kinds of stress and attacks. In The Mandalorian, the world we see after 5 years of Return of the Jedi. The world we see in The Mandalorian is 5 years after the Empire and 25 years before the First Order. You can say it is sandwiched by the old and new Star Wars era. The creator of this show is Jon Favreau, who started the Marvel Cinematic World by directing the first Iron Man movie. The man behind the armor of the Mandalorian character is a lovely boy, Pedro Pascal. According to Jon, the Mandalorian is a mixture of the Star Wars world and is located in the area where there is no any government or recently has been taken down. Before moving to the first episode of The Mandalorian, just take a pause and subscribe my channel. It is my motivation and support, you know. Let's start with the first episode or chapter of the Season 1. At the beginning, we see Mandalorian goes in a bar to capture his targeted defaulter. He succeeded to capture his target after mess created with some people in the bar.
It's a complicated profession.
This first scene gives us an idea that the upcoming whole season or drama will be an interesting mixture of original Star Wars and Wild West type movies and dramas. Then Mandalorian meets his boss who gives him the price reward for getting the target. We can see that the price Mandalorian gets was not enough. It was very hard to survive with that amount. Mandalorians use 2 types of devices to get their target. One is holopuck, which contains a holographic photo of the target, and the other is a tracker who let them know about the live location of their target. Boss offers Mandalorian an unofficial job. Imperials were looking for a 50-years-old target for long times ago. They needed him in any case, live or dead. In reward, the bounty hunter will get a healthy amount of Mandalorian iron. But the problem is that there is no holopuck of the target. There is no photograph or visual details of the target. But the location tracker is available. The Mandalorian accepts the challenge and his boss gives him a small piece of beskar mean Mandalorian iron in advance. Mandalorian takes that beskar to the local iron shop and gets a new shoulder pad there. Here we also see some flashbacks of the Mandalorian's childhood, which gives us a hint that he was alone since his childhood. The Mandalorian reaches at the location and see a robotic bounty hunter there named Droid. Voice behind Droid is of Taika Waititi, the director of the Thor Ragnarok. Mandalorian and Droid assemble to a team and decide to divide their reward in 2 halves. Then, after a very heavy scene of fight and bullets, they both find out their target. But what is that? The target of 50 years old was just a baby Yoda named Grogu. This Yoda is not actually a Yoda, but one of their race. Droid tries to kill that baddie and says Mandalorian he has orders to kill the target. But Mandalorian did not want it to kill that innocent baby, so he kicks out the robot by removing his electric head and saves the baby. The Mandalorians was going towards his ship along with baby Yoda, but another group of bounty hunters attack him to get and kill the baby. He dismissed them all. Here Mandalorian comes to know that there are many hunters after this baby. When he reaches near his ship, he sees that his ship parts were taken off by some local Jawas. He runs after them but fails badly. His ship was useless now with only skeletal left behind.
Alright, kid. You ready for an adventure?
Mandalorian seeks help of a local man and then meets with Jawas to make a deal over his ship's spare parts. Jawa says that they will give him ship parts only when he will bring an egg of a giant animal mudhorn. Mandalorian have no option, then they get out to find the egg of mudhorn. Baby Yoda in auto-follow mode also go after him. Mudhorn is a gaunt, mud-dwelling rhinoceros. Mandlo will try his full to defeat him, but rhinoceros start to get heavy on him. Then after this, Mudhorn goes with his full force to crush the Mandlo. But before that Mudhorn hits the Mandlo, the Baby Yoda use his force powers to blast the rhinoceros into the air. To seeing all this, Mandlo is quite surprised as he see the opportunity he kills him. And people go crazy with happiness that the little soul Baby Yoda is so forceful. Then Mandlos give the Mudhorn egg to Jawas. After that, Jawas break the egg and eat it. According to promise, Jawas gave all the ship's parts to Mandlos. Mandlo and his local friend both repair the ship together. Then Mandlo and Baby Yoda leave from here. When Mandlo and Baby Yoda were moving back, his bounty hunter boss calls and congratulates him on his achievement, and at the same time, Baby Yoda was sitting near him and playing with the control panel of the ship. Mandlo then goes and delivers to Baby Yoda, and then in return take his rewards, the shining Beskar. Mandlo asks him, "What are you going to do with the baby?" They ask Mandlo to take his reward and leave. Then the scientists take inside the Baby Yoda and start scanning him. No one knows what's going to happen with him. Mandlo then takes the entire Beskar to the blacksmith and tell him to make a new armor for me by melting all this Mandalorian iron. Then he come to know that there are more Mandalorians are present in this Sasirat workshop. After seeing so many Beskar that are going to investigate the Mandlo, among them there starts a little fight. Then blacksmith says, "Stop fighting." He says the code of the Mandalorian is to stay together and take care of everyone. So stop fighting each other. After that, everyone leaves except Mandlo, and the blacksmith starts his work patiently. While the suit was being ready, Mando again lost in his past childhood memories. He was thinking how Droid of Empire killed his parents, and he was left alone behind. Mandalorians took care of him after that incident and brought him up. In fact, he was relating himself to the Baby Yoda's today's situation. After getting ready with new suit, he went to his boss and asked him why some other bounty hunters were hunting for the same target mean Baby Yoda. How many were hired to capture him except me? Boss tells him that the target was so important, and all the bounty hunters were hired to capture him by the empires. But don't worry, among all of them, you are the one who succeeded, so take a chill pill, bro. Mandlo asks that what they are going to do with the baby. Boss says, do your own business and remember the duty of the bounty hunters. They don't ask questions. You have got your prize, that's it. But Mandlo baby was stuck in Mandlo's mind, and he was not in control to forget him. Being confused with his thoughts, he walks to his ship and was ready to fly, but he changes his decision and says, fuck all the rules. He go back and saves the Baby Yoda by killing all except the doctor. Mando runs away along with Baby Yoda. Now all bounty hunters got an alert again that Baby Yoda prize is active again, and whoever will bring him will get the reward. All bounty hunters find Mandalorian and asks him to give back Baby Yoda, but Mando refused and a fight begins. Mando was fighting with Baby Yoda in one hand. He could not defeat all of them alone. Fortunately, other Mandalorians come there and starts fighting along with Mandlo's side. Now Mando runaways along with the baby, thinking to get any other safe place. He decides to leave the planet and stay on any other planet. He was traveling in the ship along with Baby Yoda to find any other safe planet. Finally, they reaches a new planet named as Planet Sorgan, and Mando decides to take refuge there for the safety of the baby. Here, Mandlo meets with another badass ex-rebel shock trooper, Cara Dune. She says to Mandlo that only one of them can take refuge here, and she has reached earlier to him, so he has to leave this planet and find another. Mandlo was agree with this, but same time some villagers come and ask for Mandlo's help against some invaders who attacked the village and took all the foods. They did not have food anymore, so it's important to get their food back and safe. Mandalorian refuses first, but then he thinks that such a small village where no one comes from outside may be a perfect place to hide for both of them. So he says yes, he will help the villagers. He also asks Cara Dune to take part in the fight and help the villagers. She agrees. They go into the village. All people welcome them warmly, and children starts playing with the Baby Yoda. One lady comes to Mandlo and asks that she heard Mandalorians never take off their helmet. Is it so? Mandlo says that no, we cannot remove helmet in front of anyone, but we take it off while eating. But if one removes it in front of any other person, then he cannot wear it again. While going for the looters, Cara Dune and the Mandalorian find a set of tracks in the mud outside the village and identify that the raiders have a powerful Imperial all-terrain scout transport. Dune insists the villagers leave and make their home elsewhere, but they refuse and decide to fight, which the Mandalorian accepts. The villagers asks to train them, and they will also fight along with them to defeat the all-terrain scout transport. They make a plan to trap the giant robot in a deep pit, as you can easily defeat all-terrain armored transport or all-terrain scout transport easily once you successfully fall them down. Both of them, Cara Dune and Mandalorian, go to the looter's palace and urge 8ST to follow them. Now a thrilling fight begins, and after some failed attempts, 8ST falls in a pit. Now Mando goes down and destroy the 8 Ace by bomb. He was thinking about to leave the baby in this village and move ahead alone, because the baby is not safe with him. But meanwhile, a bounty hunter appears there and tries to kill the baby Yoda. But the badass shock trooper kills him. Now Mandalorian was clear that the bounty hunters are everywhere to find and kill the baby. Now Mandalorian and baby moves to find any other safe location to hide. While Mandlo and baby were traveling in the ship, someone attacks them. After some thrilling drifts, the Mandalorian defeats a pursuing bounty hunter in a dogfight, but the Razor Crest is damaged, and he lands at a repair facility run by Pelimato and Mos Eisley on Tatooine.